So it's Luma Nessence here again, and the question was about my art.
And now this is like a gallery, like a museum.
Yeah.
What happened here? How did you develop your eyes for beauty?
From my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was an artist who had children, so her children were her art. 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. My sister passed on, but I have 2 brothers still, an older and a younger. But my mother, so I never had children.
Mm-hmm.
I traveled instead. And
That's your choice?
That was my choice, to not have children. And because I never could find a man that would stick around. I haven't been what you'd call lucky in love. But had a lot of fun. Had some good times. And I thank all the men that brought me to this point, because I feel like a wise woman in some ways because of all my experiences. But my art is a collection of my travels. And
so tell us about your travel.
I've been around the world 3 times. And I've been, I've traveled in South America extensively. I've traveled in Africa. I've traveled. My father was in the Air Force, so I traveled my whole life. As a child, spent 12 to 15, I was in Europe for 3 years. So.
Which country?
Germany. I was in Germany, but my family were my father was the Boy Scout leader and my mother was the Girl Scout leader. So we camped all over Europe back in the 60s. And
You were a hippie family.
Yeah, right. Well, military hippie family. I think that's why I became a hippie. I think a lot of hippies had been raised in the military. I have a lot of friends whose parents fathers were in the military. So, but I just collected art, and I've always had friends who are artists, and I always like to support the arts. So I always would buy their art. Even sometimes I would have to pay them $10 a month until I get the painting paid off. But I have art here from Mendocino in the 70s, which Mendocino is famous for the Mendocino Art Center. Mm-hmm. And I married an architect. The only legal wedding I ever had was to an architect. And there's a memorial library to him. He died in a collision first thing in the morning. And so I'm a widow. But I'm not lucky in love, like I said. But I do have a gorgeous collection of art. What's left of it. I keep having to sell things in order to support myself. And but I've managed to hold on to some treasures, and I love my treasures, and I don't really want to sell any more of them. But you can't take them with you, You can't take any of it with you. It's all temporary. Yes. It's all impermanence. Yes. It's all an illusion.
This is the house of beauty. I've never been to a house with so much, artistic energy just ooze out of every piece. It's so precious. Thank you for creating such a beauty.
I love this home.
And we'll come back and do documentaries of all this art, and you will tell stories of every piece.
Every piece has a story.
Great. Thank you so much, Luma.
Thank you.
And Luma, the light
Go.
and the visionary.